Welcome, everybody. We are back again, the 423 Football Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Bouchard, joined here, as always, by Brett Hamilton.
Hello!
And this is it, you guys. And, in our league and most leagues, everyone's in the fantasy playoffs at this point.
Not everyone.
Well, I wouldn't say everyone, but every
Leagues are.
leagues are in the fantasy playoffs.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow.
Pouring salt in the wound there. I'm
Whatever.
sorry.
Whatever.
But
don't even care.
We'll discuss that on Friday. Don't you start now. But anyway, yeah, I know a few leagues have already been in the playoffs past couple weeks, but usually in most standard leagues, weeks 15, week 16, that's when the playoffs are. Just 2-week playoff usually. If you play into week 17,
You're wrong.
Cool. Yeah. Well. Yeah. One, you're wrong. If you win your championship, I won't acknowledge it. So don't even talk to me if you're playing into week 17.
Yeah.
So, week 15, we are in the playoffs now. This is, things get tough at this point in the season. This is where the big boy decisions are made, and usually in the playoffs, I try not to get too fancy.
Yeah.
I try to just play my best players.
Don't get cute.
No, don't get cute, but
Don't overthink it.
we'll go through each matchup as always, and we'll try to break down what's most favorable for your playoff matchups. And like I said, if you're in the playoffs, you probably have a pretty good team, so you pretty much know who you've been playing. You know who you're probably going to play from here on out. But injuries are a thing. You might need to get some handcuffs for the next couple weeks, but we're here to give you all that. So,
Yep.
here we go. Week 15 matchups preview, and then we're going to do the starts and sits at the very end. Okay, first things first. Broncos, Colts, Thursday Night Football. I think one of the least exciting Thursday night games thus far, Broncos and Colts. But I don't know.
Agreed.
Anything can happen. It could be high scoring. It's football. We never know. But I'm probably not starting either QB in this game, especially in the fantasy playoffs, Simeon or Brissett.
Definitely not on the road.
No, I'm not liking that. I think it's a good matchup for C.J. Anderson. We saw him now that Trevor Simeon's back. They actually use C.J. Anderson. I don't know. It still is mind-blowing why that is because, C.J. Anderson's not really the pass catcher.
Right.
But Trevor Simeon somehow boosts C.J. Anderson's abilities. Mm-hmm. And they use him quite a bit. And this is a great matchup against the Colts. So I have no problem. If you have C.J. Anderson, I have no problem starting this week. Devontae Booker, I really would prefer not to. He seems to disappear, honestly, in that Trevor Simeon offense. Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, it's a decent matchup. Colts have been pretty good against number one wide receivers, but who would you rather start in this one?
Oh, Demaryius Thomas, no question.
No question.
Yeah.
All right, are you starting any Colts?
No.
No,
Just
no.
Just no. No. The Colts all year have been one of those teams where you can start players based on matchups, and this just isn't a good matchup against the Broncos defense. Frank Gore's been pretty consistent the past couple of weeks. He's provided a pretty high floor, but I don't think he's gonna impress against the Broncos defense.
Yeah, I think Jack Doyle might be an okay play if there's not a lot of tight ends out there in your league.
No.
Jack Doyle could be fine, but I expect the Broncos defense, if you're looking for a defense to pick up, if they're out there, should be a good play here. Like I said, anything can happen. Thursday Night Football, you never know. But I got the Broncos winning this one.
I also have the Broncos.
All right, we got 2 games this week, actually on Saturday, so little bit different. Make sure you pay attention and get your lineup set for these games. First one, Bears and Lions. I believe that's the early game. Bears looked surprisingly dominant last week against the Bengals, and
that was nuts.
Lions are coming off a much needed win as well. On the Bears side of the ball, Jordan Howard, I think he had a great game last week. I think he's the only Bear we're starting at this point. It's a bit risky in the fantasy playoffs because he has been up and down, but it's a good matchup here, and I think they're going to use him a lot. They still don't really trust Trubisky that much in the passing game, so I think Jordan Howard is going to get a heavy workload, at least 20 touches, which if he gets 20
That's
touches,
all you can ask for, especially in the fantasy playoffs. You probably don't have anyone that's just a clear cut. You could plug him in over Jordan Howard on your lineup.
Yeah. On the Lions side of the ball, great matchup for the Lions. I like Stafford. He's probably, I don't know, low-end QB1 for me this week.
Yeah.
Marvin Jones, Golden Tate, love those two. I think both have a pretty good game here.
Yep.
Now, the running backs. Amir Abdullah, we saw what he could do there for a couple weeks. He was getting 10-plus touches every single game. Now he kind of got banged up, fallen off. Now they're starting to use Theo Riddick more, what we thought was going to happen at the beginning of the year. So, are you on the Theo Riddick side now, or still on the Amir Abdullah side?
Yeah, I'm still on the Theo Riddick side. Amir Abdullah, he's been dealing with the injury. They said he could have played, but they didn't. Honestly, I kind of worry about that situation, and in regards to this, it sounded to me like they're just saying, Amir, you haven't. Yeah, this is you're on the sideline right now watching Theo Riddick do well. He had like 15 rushes, and he had 2 rushing touchdowns or 1.
I think just 1, but I mean, he was obviously
he looked really good.
Well, that and he's the pass catcher, which Amir Abdullah really hasn't been that guy for them. And
so he comes off, gets a few catches, he gets carries, he looks good. I don't see any reason that they would lean more towards Amir Abdullah at this point.
Yeah,
based on the season.
Yeah, if you're in PPR, I love Theo Riddick this week.
Yeah.
I think that's a fantastic play, and not a lot of people are looking at him. So I got the Lions winning this one.
I also have the Lions.
But I'm cheering for the Bears, so
yeah,
come on, Bears. Chargers and Chiefs, another Saturday night game. This will be the late game. Hugely important divisional matchup to decide first place in that division. Chargers have been on fire lately. They've been knocking people down left and right, while the Chiefs may have just now got back on the right track. We'll see. But I think there's a lot of close comparisons on both sides of the ball. Phillip Rivers been on fire. Alex Smith, we've seen what he's done pretty much all year, which is surprising. So who would you rather have in this game, Rivers or Smith?
I'd probably rather have Rivers.
I agree.
I mean, just based on the defenses, the Chargers' defense has played so well these past few weeks. The Chiefs' defense is still kind of struggling.
That's an understatement.
yeah, kind of is an understatement. So I think Phillip Rivers definitely has a better shot of having a better game, in my opinion.
Okay, now the running backs. Melvin Gordon, he's been kind of up and down the past couple weeks. Kareem Hunt finally got in the end zone again.
Yeah.
Which one would you rather have in this one?
This is a really tough call. I'm still going to go Melvin Gordon just because of the Chargers defense. I mean, Kareem Hunt, I hope he is back because he's going to be on a lot of championship teams that really need him to perform well this week.
Yeah, and I mean, it's close, but if you have both of these guys, in all likelihood, you're starting both. I think they're both top 10 plays this week.
Yeah.
I think I'd take Melvin Gordon a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But Kareem Hunt's right there. I think he has a pretty good game.
Yep.
Great matchup for the Chargers pass catchers. I think they have a field day with the Chiefs defense. Keenan Allen, definitely roll him out there. Tyrell Williams, I'm okay with rolling him out there. Hunter Henry, maybe a good tight end play this week.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes. It always seems like there's another Chargers pass catcher that sometimes pops up, like Travis Benjamin.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be really, really risky.
Yeah.
I would not want to go there.
That's too hard to predict.
No, but I don't know. If you're desperate, it's a decent matchup, so maybe if you're absolutely desperate. I got the Chargers winning this one.
I also have the Chargers.
All right, Packers and Panthers. Incredibly important game in the NFC playoff race. Big question, obviously, will Aaron Rodgers be back? Packers are still non-committal on Aaron Rodgers returning this week. They're saying it's about 50-50. Aaron's obviously pushing to play.
Yeah.
And we've seen him throwing in pregame, throwing 50 yards down the field like it's nothing. I don't think it's a pain issue. I think it's just a
risk.
It's a structural issue. Yeah. And obviously they've brought it. I've heard quotes from 10 different doctors already. The team doctor, Dr. McKenzie, and just a slew of others. So they're all reviewing everything because obviously if there's any risk of re-breaking it, they are not going to put him out there. As much as Aaron wants to play, they're not going to put him out there. And obviously, I mean, it could.
What if he does play and then he does break it again? He has to have another surgery.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happened to Tony Romo.
Exactly, and that just starts this whole thing, and then that would be a mess. I really hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just going to be a waiting game. I'm going to just going through this matchup and probably through the week. I'm going to talk like he is going to play because I think it's a little more than 50-50 because just the fact that what he's been doing and the fact that he's pushing so hard and the fact that they're in the playoff race and they really need this win. So I'm going to lean and discuss this game as if he is playing.
Yep.
And then we'll go over if Hundley happens to play. We'll obviously know what to do by Friday.
Yep.
Okay, so if Aaron Rodgers plays, obviously you have to start him, right? I mean, there's not really a question there. I got a question later on in a different matchup leading back to Aaron Rodgers, but we'll get to that. Jordy Nelson obviously shoots back up the rankings if Aaron Rodgers is out there. They have a connection like no other in the league. Only Big Ben and Antonio Brown have a better connection than Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson.
Yep.
So
I like that quote from Big Ben. Did you see that this week?
What did he say?
It was in a press conference. Someone asked him about how that he's, people have accused him of not even looking at any of his other progressions and just throwing it straight to Antonio Brown no matter what the coverage is like or whatever. And he's like, most of the time he said something like, most of the time I go through my progressions and look and see who is open. He says sometimes it's just like, well, why wouldn't you throw it to him?
I 100% agree with that. But anyway, Jordy Nelson, if he's out there in your league, if him or Aaron Rodgers are still out there in your leagues on waiver wires, go pick them up.
Yeah.
They can win you the league if you pick these guys up. You're looking at arguably the number one quarterback in fantasy for the next couple weeks. You're looking at a wide receiver who last year and through the first couple games this year when Aaron Rodgers was playing was the number one wide receiver in fantasy.
Yeah.
So that combo would be unstoppable.
Yes. Yep, it would.
I will say it's not the best matchup for the Packers.
No, it's not.
But do you have any worry starting any others? Obviously, if Aaron's out there starting Jordy, Devontae, I think you're rolling him out there every week. Jamal Williams, any worry starting him?
It'll look a little bit. It'll be a different offense if Aaron Rodgers is out there, and that kind of makes me a little bit more cautious about Jamal Williams. But he's just played so well.
He has.
He's just looked so good that I don't think you can just not give him the ball.
Yeah.
And it's not like whenever Aaron Rodgers comes back, they're going to throw it 100% of the time. I mean, they're still going to hand the ball off.
Yeah.
So I would still play him, but it's just a situation that is kind of up in the air as far as exactly how many touches he'll get.
Yeah, and if you're worried about Aaron Jones at all, I believe Jamal had 22 touches over him this week. So
yeah, don't worry about Aaron Jones.
Yeah, and the snap count is fine.
Jamal's just playing so well. I mean, you can't.
He is, man.
You can't take him out.
Yeah, he's looking like a beast. On the Panthers side of the ball, great matchup for the Panthers. You're starting Cam. You're starting Devin Funchess. Now the running backs. We saw Jonathan Stewart blow up last week.
Jonathan Stewart will not go away.
He won't. I said this at the very beginning of the year. This is why you should not draft Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And this is what's happening. Especially this close to the fantasy playoffs, we're seeing this happen. Yeah. And if this happens in the playoffs and you start McCaffrey, you are going to be pissed.
You're going to lose.
In this matchup in particular, I know it's a hard question to ask, but who would you rather have, Stewart or McCaffrey?
Oh, man. This is tough. I'm still going to... If Aaron Rodgers plays... Well, that's kind of a weird thing to say when you're talking about the other side of the field. But if Aaron Rodgers plays, I would lean McCaffrey.
Because they'll be behind, most likely.
I do believe so. I think if Aaron Rodgers plays, he's going to score a lot of points. And I don't think that lends its hand to Jonathan Stewart very well. And I don't think this past game, Jonathan Stewart dominated and Christian McCaffrey hardly did anything. But I think that was more game script than anything.
And I will say the Packers front, like 7, they've been pretty good against like those just like straightforward grinding runners. But when they've had struggle with like guys getting the screen passes and dump offs. Yeah. So that's I'd probably lean towards McCaffrey as well.
Right.
Last bit, Greg Olsen. We saw him get banged up again in that last game, but he came back. He came back in, did okay. He still hasn't really done much, and this really isn't a great matchup here. Green Bay's been great at shutting down tight ends so far this year, but I don't know. If you have a better option, I'd lean away from Olsen, but if not, like I said, tight ends are scarce, so I wouldn't have the biggest problem starting him.
I think most of the time you could find someone better than Greg Olsen right now. I just don't think he's still got that injury issue. I mean, yeah, you saw him get pulled out of the game. I mean, that could easily happen this next week, and he miss a couple of quarters of play,
True.
And then he ends up with a big old goose egg. I mean,
and that's
just really risky for the championship.
Yeah, another thing, like in the playoffs, try to avoid risk as much as possible.
Yeah,
there's a great case right here.
Yeah,
I got the Packers winning this one.
Well, I got the Panthers. I'm sorry, buddy.
That'd knock us out.
But that's okay. I'll preface that. I am saying that Brett Hundley will probably play, but that's just my opinion.
Okay. I think it's going to be a great game if Rodgers is out there.
Yeah. Oh, even if Hundley plays, he
hung with the Steelers.
He's been quietly decent.
Yeah.
So
quietly decent. That's the most modest thing. All right, Dolphins and Bills. Yet another significant divisional game. Dolphins last week looked like the team, or the past 2 weeks, I should say. They looked like the team we expected when the season started. Jay Cutler just came alive finally, and I don't know. Would you be willing to start Jay Cutler like in this matchup as a streaming option? Maybe 2 quarterback leagues.
In 2 quarterback leagues, I probably would. My problem with Jay Cutler is I feel like every year he has these games where he scores a lot of points, and then the rest of the season he's just not startable at all.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this is maybe one of those kind of deals, but it is a favorable matchup for the pass catchers. So in 2 quarterback leagues, I mean, sometimes you got to play the bottom of the barrel. I mean, say if you just lost Carson Wentz, I mean, you got to find a replacement pretty quick. Not my favorite start of the week, for sure.
Yeah, I do want to say a lot of people have been bashing Jay Cutler in this matchup in particular, saying that they're going up north. He's in Miami, and he's not going to be comfortable with that. I'm like, he played in Chicago for how many years?
He played in the Windy City.
he played in Denver for how many years? I think he's okay with Buffalo.
It's not his first time being cold.
No. But anyway, pass catchers, as you were mentioning, Jarvis Landry, I think you're starting him every week. The target share alone has been fantastic, and the touchdowns. I'm loving that. He's got, I believe, 8 on the year.
Yeah.
That's double what he's ever had in a year. So I'm loving Jarvis Landry, especially in PPR. Can't stop playing him. Kenyon Drake, we're starting to see him start to get things going and maybe break out, per se. But
you look good.
Well, I shouldn't say but. And there's a great matchup. Bills have been very bad against the run. I think Kenyon Drake has another big week. I think they give him a lot of touches. And especially just the way they use him, the fact that he's actually been able to run hard between the tackles, and they can split him out wide and use him as a wide receiver, and he can just run straight by linebackers. It's no big deal.
Yeah. He's got he's explosive. He's got the big playability. I think this is another week that you can start him and feel pretty confident. If you picked him up and you've got a couple of other kind of borderline flex plays, I have no problem putting him over most of those.
Yeah. On the other side of the ball, we still don't know if Peterman's going to play. He got hurt. Tyrod has obviously been hurt. I don't know if you guys saw the end of that game where Well, granted, that game was bizarre because of the snow, obviously.
Yeah, I was about to say, I couldn't see any of the game.
Well, yeah, but they put Joe Webb in at quarterback, and he is a very, very bad quarterback.
If you thought Josh Peterman was bad.
Nathan Peterman,
yeah. Sorry. I don't know who Josh Peterman is.
That's his brother.
That's his brother, Josh. Nathan Peterman. Just look at Webb.
Yeah,
wow.
It's bad. But regardless, I'm really not looking to start any Bills players outside of LaShawn McCoy.
He's the only one that's snowproof.
Yeah, he is. He is snowproof. But
he's the only one that can pick his legs up and put him down fast enough.
Yeah, I mean, LaShawn McCoy, he's just quick enough. He's honestly kind of like Kenyon Drake. I wouldn't say Drake's that shifty, but
no,
Shady. I like playing him pretty much every week. Yep. I got the Dolphins winning this one.
I do have no. I'm gonna go Bills.
All right, Bills. With that Joe Webb-led Bills, man, they're going to look good.
Well, yeah, I don't think Joe Webb will be starting, but maybe.
All right, Ravens, Browns, both teams coming off games in which they blew significant leads late. Ravens, not really looking to start Joe Flacco, obviously. Not really looking to start any pass catchers. Love Alex Collins in this game. Yeah, I think he has a huge game. They're using him so much.
They should look at him.
He has looked incredible. He's a beast.
It's like shooting him out of a shotgun every time he breaks through the line. He's just a monster running.
He runs like Fournette, and Fournette's got a good 80 pounds on the guy.
And just think, the Seahawks cut Alex Collins.
Very true. And look at their running back situation right now.
Look at where that got him.
Also, Danny Woodhead, Buck Allen. Both, I guess, more PPR plays. Buck Allen has been getting in the end zone past couple weeks, but
vultured Alex Collins 2 touchdowns last week.
Yeah, but who do you prefer in this one?
Between Danny Woodhead and Buck Allen?
Yes.
I'm probably going to go. I would probably say Danny Woodhead.
I agree. Are you willing? Or
I'm not going to lean on the touchdown dependency of Buck Allen.
Yeah. Brown side of the ball. It's a tough matchup. I'll just go ahead and say that. Ravens have been very, very good on defense. So I'm not starting Crowell. I'm not starting Duke Johnson. I'm not starting Deshaun Kaiser.
No.
The wide receivers, Josh Gordon, Corey Coleman, they've been looking good. Are you willing to start either one of them in this game? Jimmy Smith is obviously out for the year, so that bodes well for Josh Gordon. Because obviously you're probably starting Gordon over Coleman, but would you prefer to start either, really?
I think, most of these situations you have to. Josh Gordon's getting, he didn't get targeted that much this past game.
That first drive was great.
That first drive was amazing.
That first drive scared the crap out of me. I know that. I thought we were going to have to deal with that all game, but it was fun.
No, that was a one-drive thing, and then Demarius Randall did really well against him the rest of the game. Corey Coleman, though, you can't discount him. He's done really well.
He has.
Even when Josh Gordon's come in. So I honestly don't have a whole lot of problems starting Corey Coleman. I think he has, I think with Josh Gordon in, he's more of a yardage guy, but he has the proclivity to get in the end zone.
All right, so yeah, I guess we'll see how that goes. Ravens, I got them. Browns continue the bid for the defeated season.
Yeah, did you see that their fans are planning a 0-16 0-16 parade?
Oh God, why?
Just because they're Browns fans, I don't know.
I guess they gotta have something to cheer for. Goodness gracious. All right, Bengals, Vikings. Bengals are in shambles at the moment, while the Vikings look to bounce back from a loss in Week 14. Joe Mixon dealing with a concussion still. We're going to have to monitor that, but not a good matchup even if he does return. A.J. Green going up against Xavier Rhodes. Rhodes really hasn't been that shut down as he was last year, but this is not a friendly matchup for Andy Dalton, and I don't expect it to be a friendly matchup for A.J. Green. So if you have a better option, stray away. But he's AJ Green, so you might
have a better option.
That's the thing. It's tough. He's definitely not in my top 10 or probably not even top 15 this week. So
probably not.
I'd try to find someone else. Vikings side of the ball, love Latavius Murray in this one. I think he has a fantastic game. Not scared about Jerick McKinnon. We've seen that the past couple weeks. Murray's really solidified that role.
Yep.
Bengals have been pretty good against opposing wide receivers. So is there any worry starting Stephon Diggs or Adam Thielen?
No.
No, not at all.
Start both of them.
Yeah.
Especially Thielen, obviously, but Diggs, I don't have any problem starting Diggs.
Yeah, Kyle Rudolph. Bengals have actually been pretty good against tight ends as well. 4 touchdowns in 3 weeks, though. So Kyle Rudolph has really, really been the red zone guy for Case Keenum. So are you still willing to start Kyle Rudolph?
Yeah. I mean,
no problem at all.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Rudolph, he's always been one of those touchdown-dependent tight ends, but he's just getting it done this year.
Yeah, and I do want to say, obviously, I think it's going to be a big Latavius Murray game, but I think Case Keenum's an okay streamer in this one if you're looking at quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think he's one of the better ones.
Yeah, I got the Vikings winning this one.
I also have the Vikings.
Unfortunately. Sorry, I'm letting I gotta stop letting my fandom sneak out.
Yeah.
Jets and Saints. Josh McCown, he's obviously done for the year after breaking his hand. Are you willing to start any Jets with McCown out? Even like Robbie Anderson was obviously he was a clear guy.
I know that's the only one that I'm worried about. The rest of them, no, not ASJ. No, I mean nobody. Robbie Anderson though, I just really think he's really good.
He's a fantastic receiver.
He's just going to be hindered by bad quarterback play.
That's the thing. They haven't announced who's playing yet, but it's going to be either Christian Hackenberg or Bryce Petty. Petty was the guy starting at the end of last year.
Is he any relation to Tom Petty?
No. But, well, I don't know.
All right, we need to get a fact checker.
I can't say for sure, so I shouldn't have just said no. Anyway, Bryce Petty was the starting quarterback at the end of last year when Robbie Anderson really broke out and onto the scene. So maybe a better situation if Petty starts, but still, it's not that great. And the Saints have been pretty good on defense. So
yeah, I mean it's a tough matchup anyway. Even with Josh McCown in, the Saints defense has been pretty strong. But yeah, the only one that's got me back and forth is Robbie Anderson because I really do think he is a good wide receiver.
He's super talented. He's going to get paid here in a few years.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. All right, on the Saints side of the ball, Alvin Kamara dealing with concussion. Going to have to monitor that. That would be a huge, huge hit to fantasy owners with Alvin Kamara in the playoffs right now. He's probably been the guy that's led you to the playoffs, and to be without him, that could be just brutal. But we're going to have to monitor that. Mark Ingram is a must-start regardless of whether Kamara plays or not. If Kamara doesn't play, my word, Mark Ingram might just go off for 30 points. There's no limitation there. Michael Thomas, fine play, even though he's been kind of quiet this year. Quietly good, I will say that. Are you willing to start Breeze in the fantasy playoffs with his underwhelming fantasy performances he's been going through this year?
No. I don't think so.
Not at all?
I really don't think so.
All right, we're playing a name game then. Okay. All right, Drew Brees or Stafford against the Bears?
I'd go Stafford.
Really?
Yeah.
How about, let's see. Case Keenum or Drew Brees? Keenum going against the Bengals.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm gonna go Case Keenum.
Jeez, I don't know. Where do I have to go? Okay, Drew Brees or Nick Foles?
Okay, Drew Brees.
All right.
That's definitely, if there's a line, he's way above that.
All right, no faith in Brees. I do agree they're going to run the ball like we've seen the past couple weeks.
That's just my thing. It's just like he has to compile passing yards,
and they're
not passing in the red zone,
and they're not going to be down. So
no, they're never. I don't expect them to ever be down in this game. So, and it's just going to be, there's going to be 4 rushing touchdowns. That's my prediction.
All right, fair enough. I got the Saints winning this one. Not even close.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Eagles, Giants. We were just talking about Nick Foles. No more Carson Wentz. So it's Nick Foles' time. Yeah. How much do you think Foles downgrades this offense? Because he obviously downgrades it some.
Yeah.
But how much? Like, are you like, what does it do for the rest of the offense in terms of fantasy?
I think it lowers everyone's ceiling a notch, but I don't think it's going to be an astronomical fall off.
Mm-hmm.
They have an extremely talented team. I don't think he's going to have to do a whole lot to win the game. I think that the only thing that I don't is because we've seen a lot of wide receivers do well on the Eagles this year.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't know about, is which one is it going to be in this kind
of
an
It's a guessing
offense.
game.
Yeah.
That's why I agree. I think
it helps Jay Ajayi because I think they're going to run the ball.
Yeah, I agree.
They gave him like 15 carries last game. He didn't do a whole lot with them. I mean, he did. He looked good, but they are committing to him.
Yeah. Foles, he has experience, so that's a good thing. He's been a starting quarterback for the Eagles. He went 27 touchdowns and 3 interceptions one year. That's fantastic. He started a playoff game. So if you're an Eagles fan, just football in general, I think it's going to be fine, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they still have
Don't throw in the towel now.
Yeah, obviously
your team is really good.
Yeah, well, first, I mean, you obviously just lost the MVP. But I think that people need to realize how good that defense has been playing, and that has been one of the main reasons they have the record they do at the moment.
Yep.
But Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, I still think they're worth starting. Alshon, obviously, a lot more than Aguilar, but
yeah.
It's going to be a wait and see because we haven't seen it.
But we don't have time to wait and see.
No, that's the thing. We haven't seen it with Foles. So I would start. I'm okay starting Jeffrey. I'm okay starting Aguilar. I'd definitely take Jeffrey over Aguilar though.
Yeah. No interest in Robert Woods.
No, or he's not on that.
I mean, no. I'm sorry. Who? God, I had it written down as Robert Foles or. Robert Foles.
Actually, no, I do want
Robert Woods.
No, Torrey Smith. I actually have.
That was it. Yeah.
I actually think that he might be an okay play, like if you're looking for that boom, like you have, if you're basically saying you have no chance other than like a boom play for your matchup, Torrey Smith, I'm okay with. I think they're going to look at him, maybe him or Matt Collins.
Yeah.
I don't know. Foles, I think. They'll give him a few deep shots, and Torrey Smith might be the guy for that.
Yeah.
Now the tight end, Zach Ertz, obviously he was out last week with a concussion. We have to monitor that. Giants' worst defense against tight ends. Now Foles, we're just gonna. If Ertz is out there, definitely rolling him out there.
Yeah.
Regardless of the new quarterback, because I mean the matchup's too sweet, and we know what Ertz has been doing. Now, if he is out, Trey Burton, I'm okay starting him again. We saw what he did last week. Number 1 tight end on the week. So,
yep.
We'll just see how it goes. Love the Eagles' defense in this one.
Yep.
Honestly, they might be my number 1 defense on the week, other than the Ravens, who were playing the Browns. But
fair enough.
On the Giants side of the ball, I really don't want to start anybody. Maybe Evan Ingram. That's it. That is it.
Maybe.
And that's a big maybe. But
yeah.
But I don't know. I think the Eagles have one of the best defensive games they have all year. They're obviously going to have to step up in a big way with Carson Wentz out. So love the Eagles defense. I got the Eagles winning this one.
I do too.
Cardinals and Redskins. Not the safest playoff options at the QB position in this game. So I'd stray away from Cousins and Gabbert. Samaje Perine, Cardinals' run D has been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So I do want to say, the Redskins' backup Marshall has been put on IR. So that's just another Redskin running back down, and we've seen their line is in shambles at this point. So I would stray away. I would really, really, really stray away from starting Perine this week. I think he's going to have a lot of trouble with that Cardinals run D.
Yep.
Now, I got these kind of all jumbled up. Josh Doxson, he's gotten an end zone the past couple weeks. He's probably going to go up against Patrick Peterson.
I don't like it.
Nope. Do not start Doxson either.
No.
I think Jamison Crowder's an okay sneaky play. I don't know. If I was going to choose a pass catcher on the Redskins, I'd probably go Crowder over anybody else. Jordan Reed has been placed on IR. He's done for the year. I'm not really willing to start Vernon Davis. He hasn't done much in Reed's absence, so I'd stray away there as well. Cardinal side of the ball. Blaine Gabbert, as I mentioned before, not really looking to start him there. Adrian Peterson, we're going to have to monitor his injury. May or may not play. I guess he'd be like middle of the pack for me in terms of rankings for the week for running backs, but not really liking it.
No.
Larry Fitzgerald, he might see some Josh Norman and Brashad Breeland, maybe here and there. But, I mean, he usually plays in the slot, so...
Yeah, I don't really have any problems. I'd start him well over Josh Doctson.
Oh, yeah, that's not even a question.
I don't think he's going to have that big of an issue.
No, but if you do have better options, I don't know. Larry, he's so... You love starting him because, I mean, he can go off.
If they were playing at home, this wouldn't even be a question.
Yeah, very true. I got the Redskins winning this one, though.
I'd also have the Redskins.
All right, Texans, Jaguars. Very tough matchup for the Texans, who may be without Tom Savage. Although T.J. Yates looked okay in that last game. I'd prefer to not start Lamar Miller at all.
No,
because
you can avoid it at all costs.
Yeah, but I don't know. The Jags defense has been arguably one of the best. Actually, I'll just go ahead and say they've been the best in football this year. Yeah. I'm not even going to debate that. T.J. Yates, like I said, has a connection going with DeAndre Hopkins last week, but this matchup will be very, very different. He's going to go up against Jalen Ramsey, A.J. Boye. I am not starting DeAndre Hopkins either.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not touching him.
No, after I saw what he did to Patrick Peterson, I don't care. I don't care who it is.
I think.
I mean, I'll definitely be watching. This is a game I'll be watching Jalen Ramsey to see exactly how good he is because, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins is just, he's monster.
Great. He's great, but there's so many.
He's so matchup proof to me that there's no way I could sit him.
See, I just won a changing quarterback potentially.
Yeah, I mean that does throw a wrench into it.
Obviously Jalen Ramsey, just as talented as a corner and Boye as Patrick Peterson. And obviously, them as a unit is a lot better than the Cardinals. So that's why I'm saying, obviously, Hopkins can probably beat one of these guys one-on-one, but I guarantee they're going to give him, or give whoever's on him, some help if Hopkins starts to hurt them in the passing game. So I don't know. I'm not liking Hopkins this week. Jags side of the ball, Blake Bortles, I think he's a good sneaky play. I think
he's a good streamer. Honestly, I mean, I don't say this very much about Blake Bortles, but I think you can stream him this week.
Yeah.
Like if you just lost
Carson Wentz.
if you lost North Dakota tough Carson Wentz, you can start Blake Bortles, and I think be okay in this matchup.
Yeah, I like the Jags wide receivers as well. Marquise Lee, obviously the favorite. D.D. Westbrook is becoming more and more involved in the offense, and even Keelan Cole. I think they're both about the same tier, but they both got in the end zone last week. They're both getting targets. Yeah. So I'm okay starting D.D. Westbrook in this matchup.
I'd be okay with D.D. Westbrook.
Yeah, and then Leonard Fournette, you're obviously starting him, but maybe temper expectations. Texans, number 3 run defense. If there's anything good about their defense, it's their run defense.
Yep.
I got the Jags winning this one, not close.
Yep, Jaguars.
Rams, Seahawks. Once again, we have an extremely important divisional matchup with both teams coming off close, hard-fought losses. 2 pretty strong defenses, so it's going to be a ton of points scored, I assume. You're still starting Todd Gurley, obviously. That's not a question. Robert Woods expected to be back. So with him back, rank the Rams wide receivers.
I would go... Oh, man, it's hard. Yeah, Robert Woods coming back makes it difficult.
Yeah, and Seahawks have been very susceptible to the passing game now with all their injuries.
Yeah, golly, they have so many defensive injuries. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go Cooper Kupp first.
Okay.
I'm going to go, golly, Sammy Watkins or Robert Woods?
I'd go Robert Woods. It's not even close for me. Yeah, I still think Sammy Watkins is like a flash in the pan.
Yeah, I know, but...
Here and there.
Robert Woods just coming off an injury.
Yeah, I get that, and he might not play, so we don't know.
True.
We don't know.
Yeah, It would be really close, but I may have Robert Woods an inch above Sammy Watkins this week.
All right. Seahawks, Russell Wilson, you're starting him pretty much every week. It's not the best matchup, but, I mean, he's Russell Wilson. Still rolling Doug Baldwin out there. Again, not the best matchup, but Doug Baldwin, you're going to roll him out there. I expect Jimmy Graham to bounce back in this game. Mm-hmm. Rams have given up a good amount of points to tight end.
Yeah, I think he gets in the end zone this week, and he has a really good game following his poor fantasy performance.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna ask this question. I mean, mainly it's based off of my team. So, but are
you trying to get free fantasy advice?
I just want your take. I know what I'm doing, obviously, but I just want your take on this because I mean I have biases and maybe a better take. No, I won't. Not always. But anyway, I have had Russell Wilson throughout the better half of the season. So I've been playing him, and obviously this isn't the greatest matchup. And I also have Aaron Rodgers coming back potentially this week. He's playing the Panthers. Who would you start? Who do you like more? Just saying both are playing. Both are obviously Aaron. If he's out there, there's not going to be any limitations. So Russell Wilson against the Rams, Aaron Rodgers against the Panthers.
I'd say Aaron Rodgers against the Panthers. I mean, I know your decision because I saw you already put Aaron Rodgers in your lineup. like probably the very second that you could.
You stay out of my team.
I look. I took a gander Monday morning. Already in the lineup. No, I really would probably get. That's a really tough one. But I think if Aaron Rodgers is cleared to go, he will be for real ready to play football.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think I can really go wrong starting either one.
No, absolutely not. I mean,
and if anyone else is in that situation, then
I mean, if you want to go Russell Wilson, that's fine because Russell Wilson has been playing really well, and he always plays really well against good teams for some unknown reason.
Yeah, willing to start Mike Davis. Seahawks running back. He had a pretty good week last week. He was the pretty much focal point of that backfield. Rams give up the second most points to running backs, actually.
There's not a whole lot of players that I wouldn't play ahead of him, honestly. I mean, it's just you've got to be desperate at that point. I just don't. I mean, you just never know.
Yeah,
you never know what it's going to be. That could have been a one-off, and it could be someone completely different this week.
Yeah, very true. I in my opinion, I think it's okay to start him if you maybe at the flex position. So Mike Davis, worth a shot. I got the Rams winning this one.
This was close for me, but yeah, I got the Rams.
All right, Patriots Steelers, arguably the game of the week with playoff home field advantage on the line. Patriots looked out of sorts last week while the Steelers continue their offensive dominance. Both teams get suspended players back. Gronk off of his suspension and Juju. Obviously, we talked about that last week, so we're not going to get into the suspension this week. Is it safe to say just go ahead and start all your Steelers?
With Juju back, Martavis Bryant definitely takes a back seat, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know that you have to start Martavis. I think you do have to start Juju, though.
Yeah, I agree. And obviously, you're starting Le'Veon, you're starting Antonio. Big Ben, I'm fine with this week.
Oh, yeah.
Jesse James, we saw him have a huge week last week.
There's been. I mean, the tight end's been a tough position for fantasy this year. I think you could do a lot worse than Jesse James against the Patriots.
Yeah, and just something to monitor. Patriots may be without Patrick Chung, one of their safeties, and plays a little bit of nickel, which that's usually on the tight end. So if he's out, it might be a decent game for Jesse James.
Yep.
Patriots side of the ball. This might be a hot take, but I would avoid Brady if you have even somewhat of a better option. History tells us he has horrible fantasy games in December and in fantasy playoffs. You want to know a stat?
Yeah.
You guess how many 20-point games Tom Brady has had in the fantasy playoffs, Like I'm saying, this is counting week 14, 15, 16, and 17 since 2012.
Since 2012, how many touchdowns?
20-point games.
20-point games
in fantasy.
Let's see, 2012. That was 5 years ago. I would say
about 20 games. That's about 20 games.
I'd say about half of them, 10.
One.
Oh wow.
One 20-point game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's Brady, so I mean, he could easily go out there and drop a 30-burger.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, it's just I don't know.
Well, one, it's a tough matchup. History tells us I guess for some reason he doesn't perform that well in December. So yeah. I don't know. I really you gotta kind of lean towards the fact that it might not be the greatest situation to play Brady. I mean, obviously, he's getting Gronk back.
Yeah. I think that helps more than anything. But I mean, I don't know. In a one quarterback league, I mean, would you pick someone up off the waiver wires and stream them over Tom Brady?
See, I was gonna wait till Friday
because you just said this is the time where you don't want to take a whole lot of risk.
That's true. I will say that. I'll limit myself to one hot take this week, and this will be it. I was gonna wait till Friday to make this bet because I know. I mean, there's not a person in the world who probably wouldn't take this bet. But beer bet right now.
Yeah.
More points in standard this week. Nick Foles has more than Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, easy.
Yep, thank you. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to get a lot of flack for that. I know already.
Oh, my God.
But, we got to make it interesting.
I mean, I understand, like, the 1 in 20 games or whatever, but, I mean, I don't think what happened 7 years ago helps. It affects how he plays December today.
I mean, we always saw what he did last week, and it wasn't anything pretty.
Yeah, no.
And that's against a lot easier matchup than the Steelers, and
that happens.
And the Steelers might have Joe Hayden back.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I guess I'm not taking into it. I mean, I don't put as much stock into history and long term trends like.
Yeah, I mean
the games played in December is kind of weird to me.
Yeah, I get it, but
especially someone being from New England. I mean,
we'll see. I'm gonna get a beer off of this.
If you do, I'll be more than happy to get you that beer.
Okay, not the best matchup for Brandon Cooks and Chris Hogan. Which do you prefer? We saw Chris Hogan get back last week. He looked fine. He was getting plenty of shots down the field. He didn't catch that many, and Brandon Cooks obviously got shut down. But who do you like more in this game, Cooks or Hogan?
Brandon Cooks.
Yeah.
Chris Hogan did fine, but I'm still not. I mean, it was nothing to get super hype about. But I mean, the whole Patriots offense didn't look like it showed up for the game, so it may be an outlier.
Very true. And obviously, I mentioned Gronk being back. You're starting Gronk because what he is, but Steelers do have the number one defense against tight ends this year, and my theory that Brady might struggle in this game.
Yeah.
But you're starting him. It doesn't.
Yeah. You have to.
No matter what.
You're not streaming a tight end, especially at that position.
Yeah, and obviously that's a much different scenario than saying Brady. Or there's a lot more options at quarterback to start than tight end. So if you have Gronk, you're starting him.
Yep.
The running backs for the Patriots, Rex Burkhead. Well, I think the running backs, I just want to say, I think they're going to have good games here. Rex Burkhead, we finally figured out like the roles of these guys over the past couple weeks. Granted, I'm going to say this, and they're going to throw just a wrench in the machine.
Yeah,
but
you're going to put Chris Hogan at fullback, and
probably,
or
watch Mike Gillislee come back. But Burkhead seems to be the goal line guy and the pass catcher. He's getting the touchdowns. Dion Lewis, he's getting a lot of the rest of the work, and then James White's kind of like the afterthought. He got in the end zone last week, but I don't think that's that big.
You definitely got to start Rex Burkhead. Dion Lewis, give or take, especially in this matchup. I'd rather find another option, but James White isn't even a thought at this point.
Yeah, I got Steelers winning this one at home.
I've got the Patriots.
All right, Titans and 49ers. Don't count the 49ers out of this one. I just want to go ahead and say that. Titans have looked horrendous.
No,
horrendous despite winning 8 games.
I mean, are the 49ers favored in this game? I meant to look that up.
They might be, actually.
Golly, the Titans have been so disappointing.
Yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo slowly getting more comfortable in the offense and spreading things around more. I'm not willing to start him in fantasy matchups this week. Marquise Goodwin, I think, is an okay flyer if you're looking for a receiver. Not the best matchup for Carlos Hyde as well, but I'd still kind of be okay starting them. Titans still, they haven't looked good, I'm telling you.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota has been so disappointing. He even admitted it. He said, I've been hurting this team, and he has. And I don't know what the issue is.
I don't know.
They keep blaming it on this mysterious injury that I don't think exists, but I think that's just kind of.
He's still running the ball.
I know he's still running the ball.
I think his pocket presence. I think he's got jitters
or
something. I don't know.
Something's wrong with him. I don't know.
But anyway, it's a great matchup all around for the Titans, but a little worrisome as they've performed very poorly recently. Marcus Mariota. Here's another one. There's so many quarterback options this week. I think they're so up and down. Would you rather start Mariota or Brady this week?
Oh, Brady.
Okay.
I wouldn't start. I mean, honestly.
Well, I'm going to go through them. Mariota or Breeze. You were down on Breeze.
Oh, Breeze.
All right. I guess that's the line. We've done like name game. We've done like 5 quarterback name games so far.
Yeah.
But all right. I don't know. Yeah, just Mariota. Temper expectations. Love Derrick Henry in this game. Absolutely love Derrick Henry in this game.
Really?
I think DeMarco it's slowly happening. Slowly happening.
They just keep giving him the ball.
I know.
That's what's hurting Derrick Henry. Is as bad as DeMarco Murray has been, they still give him the ball.
Yeah, that I will say that. But Derrick Henry's looked so good. He's looked honestly in the games or these past couple games and the games where he's gotten touches, he's looked better than Fournette. I compare those two because they're very similar.
Yeah.
Big guys. They can run faster than most small guys. So I really like Derrick Henry in this one. I really prefer not to start any pass catchers in this game at all. If I had to choose 2, I'd probably go Rashard Matthews, Delaney Walker, and then obviously maybe Marquise Goodwin. But I'd stray away.
Marquise Goodwin has performed well the past 3 games he's played. I mean, he's getting the targets. He had I think 6 receptions last week, or somewhere in the 5 to 7 range. You can't argue with that. I mean, it's been double digits, I think, past 2 out of 3 weeks.
Yeah, very true. I got the Titans winning this one.
I have the 49ers, and the 49ers are slight favorites this week.
Oh, that's crazy. And are the Titans at home? I believe
no,
they're not.
Nope.
It's on the road.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Okay, got to speed this up. We're kind of running out of time. Cowboys, Raiders, Sunday Night Football. Last game before the return of Ezekiel Elliott. I love Alfred Morris in this game. I think he's going to do fine. Rod Smith, an okay deeper league or PPR guy. I'm okay starting Dak, Dez, and Witten, but I'm not thrilled about it. I don't know. We saw Dak and Dez finally get on the same page last week, and even Witten back to what they were doing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a great matchup. That's why I say it. I'm okay with that.
Honestly, I am more excited than you about starting.
Yeah.
Dak and Dez particularly. I just think the Raiders just aren't very good.
No.
I mean, they're not.
Their defense is awful, and we've known that.
They're not playing like they know what they're doing. So
yeah,
I have no problem playing this.
Dak or Brady.
That one's good. I'm still gonna lean Brady.
You can pretty much make up your own rankings out of our out of our quarterback discussions today. On the Raiders side of the ball, I'm not starting Derek Carr. I'm not. I'm done with that. Great matchup for Crabtree and Cooper, but it's really hard to trust them at this point, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd lean towards Crabtree, but I don't know. I really, really prefer not to.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch, he's looked good the past couple weeks, and they're giving him the ball a little bit more and more, but I expect him to be down in this game, and even when he is getting the ball, Sean Lee has been arguably the best run defender in football right now.
Yeah, well, he's the centerpiece of that defense for sure. So, I mean, it'll be a tough game for Marshawn.
Yeah. I got the Cowboys winning this one.
I also have the Cowboys.
All right, last game, Falcons, Bucks, Monday Night Football. Start all your Falcons. I think Matt Ryan has a great game. Julio's going to have a great game. Devonta Freeman, great game. Tevin Coleman, I think he's an okay play. Mohamed Sanu, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Austin Hooper, I will say, don't start Austin Hooper. Bucks have been good against tight ends, and if you've been relying on Hooper to give you that boom game,
he's definitely boom or bust tight
end.
Yeah,
and this is not a boom game. Nope. Bucks side of the ball. Are you worried with Mike Evans at all? No touchdowns since week 7. Falcons have been great against opposing wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean, you can't not be worried about him. You can't start him and expect him to be a wide receiver 1 this year, just based on how their offense is performing. I mean, they're in the same situation. That whole team is in the same situation as the Bengals, trying to figure out what they're playing the last 3 games for.
Yeah,
you know what's the point? Yeah. So they're in that kind of funk.
Slam dunk the funk.
But Mike Evans, obviously he had a terrible game this past week. He got the Darius Slay treatment. But other than that, he's been a consistent in the wide receiver 2 range.
Yeah.
So by that standard,
I mean,
yes, I would start him.
Yeah, you're still. I mean, you're still starting. I was just asking like how worried.
I mean, do I expect like a breakout game this late in the season? Probably not. But
he could. Though. He could. That's one good thing about starting Mike.
He does have the propensity to have those games.
Yeah, I do want to say there is one good thing about these Mike Evans struggles. Chris Godwin, my man. Chris Godwin has he's getting more and more involved, and I'm loving it.
He really is, yeah. I mean, he's a good player.
Yeah. O.J. Howard or Cameron Brate?
I'm going to go Cameron Brate.
All right. I'm starting to like O.J. a little bit more.
It's tough.
He's looked good.
It's tough to predict.
He's looked good.
Yeah. And then Cameron Brate goes off and has a 2-touchdown game.
Yeah. Running backs, last bit of thing. Doug Martin, Peyton Barber. Who do you like more in this one? In standard. Tell me your standard and then PPR.
Honestly, the answer is probably the same for both, and it's probably Peyton Barber.
All right.
I just think, you saw Doug this past week. He got pulled from the game because he was anemic and fumbled. And they gave the ball to Peyton Barber, and he had a much better showing.
Peyton looked good.
And after Doug's fumble, he just didn't go back in. So that's too big of a risk to take in the playoffs, is having a player like that just not perform well. If they're down in the game, Peyton Barber's going to be in. So, and Charles Sims will see a lot more playing time too. But I think Peyton Barber, both formats.
All right. I already know you're taking the Bucks. I'm taking the Bucks as well.
Oh,
I think they're.
Nice.
Hey, Monday Night Football. Late in the season, they're going to want to knock out the Falcons. We saw what the Dolphins just did to the Pats this past weekend.
John Gruden's getting inducted to the Ring of Honor.
So there you go. There you go. He can coach him up.
Yeah, they'll be looking to impress that game.
Okay, starts and sits real quick, and then we'll close out the show. Start at the QB position. Who you got?
Big Ben versus the Patriots.
I like it. I'm going Phillip Rivers against Kansas City. Running back start.
Jay Ajayi versus the New York Giants.
All right. I got a bunch written down. I'm going to go with
Pick one.
Latavius Murray against Cincinnati. I think he has a big game there.
Yep.
Wide receiver start.
Jarvis Landry versus the Bills.
All right, I'm going Keenan Allen, matching him up with Phillip Rivers there. Keenan Allen going against Kansas City. I think he has a huge, huge game. 100 yards, touchdown, maybe 2.
Yep.
We'll see.
Why not?
Tight end start.
Jimmy Graham, I think, has a bounce-back game against the Rams.
I'm going with... I wrote down Zach Ertz, but that's a cop-out. If he plays, you're obviously starting him. I actually like Jason Witten going against Oakland. I think he gets, especially in PPR, I think he gets close to 10 receptions in this one.
Yep.
Defenses, who are you starting?
I'm starting the Chargers versus the Texans.
Chargers playing the Chiefs, my friend.
Oh, whoa.
You screwed up.
Whoa. Well, I'm still starting the Chargers.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Jaguars against the Texans. That's who you're thinking of.
Oh, man.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you're thinking of Jaguars.
Man.
I'm going to say Eagles as well, going against the Giants. I think they have a great game. Sits, quarterback position. Go.
Derek Carr versus the Cowboys.
I'm going with... Yeah, I'll go ahead and say it. Tom Brady against the Steelers. Right. I was going to say Andy Dalton, but that'll be my hot take for the week.
All right.
Sit Brady. Running back, sit. Who you got?
Lamar Miller versus the Jaguars this time.
Jaguars. I'm going with Marshawn Lynch playing Dallas. You just heard my piece about Sean Lee. I think he shuts down the run game. Wide receiver, sits.
Josh Doctson versus the Cardinals.
All right, I'm going A.J. Green against Minnesota. Tight end, sit.
Greg Olsen versus the Packers.
All right, I'm going to go with, let's see, Vernon Davis against Arizona. Even though Jordan Reed's done for the year, we've seen Davis do nothing even in his absence. So I'm not liking Vernon Davis in this one. Defensive sit.
The Seahawks versus the Rams.
All right, and I'm going with the Patriots, sitting the Patriots defense against the Steelers.
Good.
Okay, that is all for today. Make sure you listen to our previous show, our recap from the week, and then we'll be back tomorrow to talk our own League of Record, our KPT Ballers League. And I don't really, obviously we're getting towards the end of the season. We don't have any plans for scheduling changes. We'll be here even through Week 17 for all those morons out there who play through Week 17. And we'll probably do once the season's over, we'll probably do one a week for the playoffs and everything like that. Because, daily fantasy is still in the playoffs and a lot of things like that. So that's going to be it for today. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the423football. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. Give us a like. Leave your comments and reviews. Thanks for listening. We are the 423 Football Podcast.
Peace out.